Hey guys, it's Di, and I am back with another installment in the Purse Wear and Tear and Maintaining Your Bag series. And today I'm going to do a wear and tear video on the Louis Vuitton Tivoli GM. And this is actually another one of my favorite bags. I guess I'm kind of doing my favorites towards the beginning and kind of working my way down. But this bag was actually the bag that I used a lot last winter, and then also I'm sure I will be wearing it again a lot this winter as well. And the great thing about this bag is that these shoulder straps are adjustable. They fit comfortably over your shoulder, and I was able to wear it over a coat, which is really nice. And I do have fairly broad shoulders, so for me to have a bag to wear over the shoulder, it should fit on just about anyone. And also I have it on the fourth hole, so there's actually one more hole down that you could make the straps longer with as well. So I find this is an incredibly comfortable bag to use. I think that it's really chic to look at. I mean, just gorgeous, a lot of great details, and I think that the style and ease of use is why it's one of the favorites in my collection. I really like these styles. They have the pleating on them. Obviously, I have a lot of those in my collection. And then I also think what is great on the Tivolis is this little kind of chain charm that's attached on the zipper, and I think that that's really pretty as well. So to get into the kind of wear and tear, let me go ahead and let you know how old the bag is. And I looked up the day code beforehand, but it's SP1089. So the 18th week of 2009. So it is about 3 years old. And on the interior, honestly, my opinion is the interior looks pretty much, I don't know, honestly, my call on that would be very, very good, almost like new. And again, like I've said in all of my handbag videos in this series, I do really consider myself the kind of average handbag owner. And then as far as like the interiors go, I do try to not keep anything like loose pens, loose lip glosses, or anything like that down on the inside. So the interior is actually really, really easy to maintain if you do those things. As far as overall on the bag, for a 3-year-old bag, the leather has darkened a little bit with use, and I have noticed that dirt seems to collect on these rounded handles a little bit more than my flat-handled bags for whatever reason. I feel like it's not like dirty, but I feel like I see more dirt around like this front edge, kind of, that is more facing the outside. For whatever reason. So it's not exactly as even, but I mean, that's incredibly nitpicky. I don't even think I'm going to be able to pick it up in the camera, even if I do like a close-up shot to the side. It's just something I can see with my naked eye, and I really have to be looking for it. But I do feel like the rounded handles pick up a little bit more dirt, but it doesn't detract from the bag at all, in my opinion. It's just something that when I'm really focused on it, I can pick out. And so I just kind of am mindful to use the bag on my shoulder or on my arm as much as possible so that I'm not adding more wear to the center of the handles there. One big thing, and I think I've talked to a few owners of Tivolis down in the comments here on YouTube that have said the same thing. The zippers tend to kind of get stuck when you zip them all the way open. So if you only have one hand free, you get kind of caught in this, like, I can't get my zipper back going. So if you get it started just a little bit, it's not quite as hard to zip with one hand. You can kind of grab it and get it going a little bit. So the thing that I have found is instead of letting it zip all the way down back to this area where it kind of gets stuck, and it's really, really hard, almost impossible to do with one hand, is when I'm closing it and using it, I only let it go about this far away from the end of the bag, and then that way I can easily grab it and zip it up with one hand if I'm using it. So that is one thing that I think the zippers are very, very firm and get stuck on this bag, but it's a really thick, substantial zipper, so I do appreciate that because it's held up really well. It has the piping around the edges, and the piping has held up really, really well. It's got a little bit of dirt in the corners, so I don't know if because I use this bag more in the winter, maybe that's why I'm picking up more dirt or something on it. But again, it's not like super noticeable. It doesn't take away from the bag. And it has these feet on the bottom, which have gotten a little bit scuffed up with use, but it's nothing that, I mean, that's from general use, I would say. you know, they've worn down from being set on tables, or just being set on surfaces in general and that sort of thing. But their feet on the bottom of the bag, so you kind of have to expect that. And let me show you here. On the interior, it does have this D-ring, which I don't actually use, so I can't speak to how well it's held up as far as like if I was hanging things actually off of it all the time, but it still looks in pristine condition, obviously, because it's not something I've really used. I do use these pockets a lot. I'm putting my keys, my cell phone, things that I'm grabbing out daily in these, and the pockets still look really great, no loose seams or anything, and also they haven't really stretched out or anything like that. Nothing abnormal has happened with the interior of the bag. Everything that you know, it's just general wear, and honestly, the interior looks great. So all in all, for being a 3-year-old bag, this bag has held up remarkably well. The only kind of real gripe with this style is that if the zipper, especially if it goes too far down towards the end, it's extremely difficult to close. But that's not really a wear and tear issue, I don't think. I mean, that's just a kind of abnormal characteristic of the bag, so you just kind of have to go into owning it and possibly accepting that you know, may happen with your bag as well. And all in all, you know, I haven't noticed any excess wear around these points where the handles are attached to the bag. These rivets have held up really well, and also these buckles, because that could potentially be a weak area. They have worked remarkably well. So Louis Vuitton really, I think, put some thought into designing this bag, and I really feel like, you know, it's a very substantial bag that's held up really well. I haven't had any problems with pulling on these holes or any sort of tearing in the leather, even though, you know, the weight of the bag really kind of is focused on these areas, and I do not change the number hole that it's on. So this 4th hole is the one that is always on. So that is my honest assessment of the Louis Vuitton Tivoli GM. I really, really love this bag. I think it is definitely worth the money, and it is one of my favorite bags in my collection. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing that, but I think that this bag is just a gorgeous, gorgeous bag, and I'm so, so glad that I tried out this style, because it is definitely a great bag. So let me know if you have any questions, but all in all, there's not a lot to say as far as wear and tear for this bag, because it's held up so well. So I guess that's really all you have to say. All right, so I will see you in the next installment of the Wear and Tear series, and as we kind of start working our way down, I guess, down my list of favorites, I do have a couple of issues with a few of the bags, so I will let you know about those. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.